Ya no me enojo contigo, solo observo y pienso, me decepcionó
y me alejo más de ti, porque yo ya no quiero sufrir, quiero ser feliz.
Tu amor es veneno y más, y yo siento un dolor en mi alma, pero con calma.
Abro mi teléfono y miro que andabas con otro. ¿Cómo me siento?
Te llamo para confirmar, pero tú no quieres contestar.
Okay, so it is Sunday night. I just got done studying for physics, doing math homework, and just, getting ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Monday, and, well, obviously it's going to be Monday, and I have the physics test, and it's upper day, so I'm going to be training upper body. I'll show you guys everything. I'm going to do a voiceover and explain and just talk about everything, because I'm not going to record speaking, in the gym, because I'm going to make short form content more tomorrow also. But yeah, overall, I'm stressing a little bit about tomorrow's test, purely due to the fact that I'm not stupid. I call myself dumb a lot of times. I'm not stupid, but I have to study a ton in order to get good marks. Now, for tomorrow's test, I do not know if I should have high hopes or not. The last biology test we did, none of us did fantastic, unfortunately. It wasn't necessarily that we didn't know the answers, it's just the questions that were asked in a way that it wasn't what you thought. Like, for example, they didn't, like, if you were to think that this word means this, they would want you to think otherwise, if that makes sense. So that sucked. But overall, that's it. Last term's marks weren't too bad, so I'm gonna see how everything pans out. But overall, hopefully tomorrow's goes well. But yeah, I'm still excited for tomorrow's the upper day session. I am going to change the way I do upper body a bit, because I do not like the fact that everything has to be rushed. Because since I only have 1 hour every day to train in my current schedule, I do not want to go through everything without actually enjoying it. So I'm gonna do an upper 1 and upper 2, and then do let's say chest with shoulders and arms a bit and a little bit of back or something, and just not as focused on everything, or I'm not even sure what. But I'll show you guys what I decide on, because like I said, overall I just don't have enough time. Also, right, so one thing I want to add, since I like training for arm wrestling, my forearms, I know it doesn't look like it, have grown a substantial amount. They have gotten bigger. If you guys can see, my forearms have gotten bigger and stronger. The one thing I do want to get better at is when I'm here. One thing I struggle with is keeping that pressure. At the wrist, I can the majority of the time control the person. I can do the top roll. I can do that this where I lower my wrist and I supinate this way and then I just go down. I can do that, but I just struggle with the whole pressure thing. If you guys know arm wrestling, that's called side pressure. So I'm training that at the gym once a week, because I simply do not have time to train like I want to. I can't spend as much time on bodybuilding, boxing, for arm wrestling, all these things, because Matric is tough. But I'm not gonna stop with all this, because you know what? It's my life. I'm gonna enjoy it, and hopefully don't mess up school. I will just see it, hopefully. But yeah, one thing I do want to show you guys, as you can see, I have some weights there and a bar, and I actually like training forearms there. Okay, so probably my favorite exercise to do currently is supination, because I actually when I started training for arm wrestling, I actually didn't know what supination and pronation was. And currently, I do enjoy supination more than pronation, just because I know that it would kind of benefit me more in arm wrestling than pronation, in my opinion. Okay, future Tina Siso, just like to state, to clarify, I do think supination and pronation are equally important depending on the scenario. I do think for a top roll, pronation is more important, and for a hook, supination is more important. Both are important because if the one isn't strong, the other one is going to suffer, because you still need to keep your hand stable, because you do not know what the other guy is trying to do. If he's going to press you, hook you, top roll you, whatever the case may be, you need to be stable. So I just think depending on the way you pull, that is going to like kind of state on which you should focus the most. But please train both. So yeah, I just had like a blonde moment. I also like, if you guys know what's rising. Rising is an exercise where you take weight, you wrap it like this, and then you basically lift it from the ground while keeping your arm like at 90 degrees. So let's say you go like this, right? You can do it from like a standing or a seated position, whatever. It's very tough, but it's a good thing for arm wrestling because it helps you with that back pressure. But that can't be done like a couple of times a week, because the amount of stress it puts on your elbow tendon, your shoulder, and even your back is like absurd. I do not believe it. Like the first week I did like, let's say 3 sets of rising, my shoulders were so done I couldn't even bench press. So that's something I don't do very often. I do them, but as you guys know, like the amount I can actually train every day for arm wrestling is limited. Well, actually every week is limited, but you guys know that you guys know the drill. But since I am here, I think this is 15 kilos. I'm gonna make it 20. Alright, so I'm going to make it 20, and then I'm just gonna do a little bit of, I'm thinking probably pronation, because like I said, I do think supination is more important, but pronation still has to be done. So let's do this. Yeah, that was actually my max not too long ago. Like for left, which is my non-dominant side, that is heavy. So let's see. Actually, let's do it like this. So I'm going to get it up. All right. So yeah, overall not too bad. I do like arm wrestling. It's just the time that sucks. Okay, so today I'm gonna train chest and back. I know it's supposed to be an upper body day, but since I didn't train yesterday because I was sick, I am not in the mood to train my whole upper body. So it's majority going to be chest and back, and it's going to be focused on chest. So I'm going to start off with a little bit of back and then mainly chest. I do not think I'm going to train as hard on all of my chest movements, just because I am still a little bit sick and I do not have the energy for it. But overall, training should be fun, and that's the reason that I'm not training my whole upper body today. I hope that makes sense. I'm not sure if it does, but yeah, point being, if I'm not in the mood to train my whole upper body on a certain day, I'm not going to do it. The majority of the time I am going to do it just because I want to grow and whatever else. But if training isn't fun, you're not going to want to do it. So if you make it fun and you continue doing it, it's worth it. One thing I do want to rant about is just how much work Matric is, because yesterday I wrote a physics test, and Friday and Saturday I studied the wrong work, and I only realized that Sunday after church. So I had like half a day to do an entire like piece of the handbook. So that sucked because like completely, like entirely different. And now I don't think yesterday's test went too bad. I do think I held my own in the test, but overall I do not think I'm gonna get the best marks. Now this test doesn't count for our year marks, which is great. However, if I do bad on this, my momentum going into the bigger tests, which do count, is going to be very little. Now, of course, this was a learning experience, seeing how some of the questions are asked. But overall, like Matric is kicking my ass. Like physics, math, like computer science is it's okay, but like chemistry still, this stuff is hard. Now, like for example, in life orientation, we have so many tasks. I can't even remember which tasks have to go in, so I have to make sure. And I don't even remember what tasks I still have left to do because there are so many. And like in let's say Afrikaans, every week is basically okay, this task has to go in, this has to go there, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's so much work in every single subject. Like I'm barely sleeping, and therefore I can't really get like well because I've been sick for like a week. But last week it was okay. I only had like sinus and whatever. Now it's a little bit more prominent, but like school overall is bad. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave that where it is and I'm gonna go train now. The gym still has to open, as you can see. Okay, so as you guys can see, the gym was dark. The power was out and I'm not sure when it's going to be fixed. So the next couple of videos on my Instagram, TikTok and whatever is gonna be like in a dark gym. So that's gonna be fun. Anyway, I started off with normal pull downs. I did not go as heavy because I felt a little bit weaker, not as much, but still noticeable on some movements, especially bench press, but you guys will see that. So I did one set of lat pull downs to failure. I did like 2 warm-up sets to like feel how weak I was, and then I did a normal set. And then I went on to normal cable rows because the bench press was taken, so I would traditionally want to do lat pull down, bench press, then rows, then another chest movement, but that could not be done. Anyway, so after the rows, I went over to the bench press where I only did 80 kilos, which is completely too light in my standards, but it felt super, super heavy, unfortunately. But I still went to failure on the set that I did. And yeah, I also did some flies on a machine I did not do up until recently because I never felt at ease with like the machine because it always made my shoulders like hurt, but now it kind of feels fine, so I like it. But yeah, and then I went outside and like a nearby light and I posed for a bit. I don't look the best, but you know what? That is life. I'm bulking, so I'm growing, so I'm not gonna look the best, but overall, it was fine. Okay, so basically this is going to be the outro. So that test absolutely bombed it. Like it did not go well. I got my marks back today. Not gonna say it, but if you think it's here, it's here. It's like Now I did have a nice long little chat with my teacher, and I explained to her what happened. Now the good thing was, I basically had like the principle of how to do each calculation on its own. However, all of my methods were not there. And since, like, for example, there's one method, I wanted to use the wrong formula, but I used the correct like quantities and whatever. I hope that made sense. So overall, like I had like the right direction, just the wrong vehicle, if that were to make sense. It's just like it was there but not there. So she said that she isn't as worried about me because since I have like a basic knowledge about what to do and what I did wrong, if I just study the right work, I will do well. So that's gonna be my goal. I'm gonna aim for pretty good marks, and hopefully study the correct work. But yeah, that is unfortunately Matric. Sometimes nothing is gonna go according to your wishes, and sometimes it is. But most of the time, you're gonna get your ass handed to you. So sorry. Um, But yeah, hope you guys have a great day. Go get jacked and get sleep because sleep is important. Bye bye.